What's up, man? It's Bronco the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. Hey, man, Premier League haters, y'all might want to look the other way. I know y'all hate when I do this, but at the end of the day, fool, I gotta do diligence and I gotta go ahead and speak about what's going on out here. Shout out to Intercept for making this video. Go subscribe to them. Get them to 10,000 subscribers. Y'all know what just happened in the Champions League. The top 8. There's 5 Premier League teams in the top 8. Liverpool is in the top 8. Arsenal is in the top 8. City Boys is in the top 8. Chelsea is in the top 8. The Tottenham Cock Boys is in the top 8. Hold on, is Tottenham in the top 8? Why does that just sound so nasty coming off my tongue? Them niggas just top 4. That shows you how dominant the Premier League is just being around the world right now. The Premier League is evolving again. That's what Mr. Intercept just said. Go ahead and dive into it. Let's see what goes down.
As of the 6th of January, Liverpool, who currently sit 4th in the Premier League, are only 13 points ahead of Nottingham Forest, who are all the way in 17th. A pretty small margin for such a big gap in the table, but it gets a bit crazier. If we take Brentford in 7th on 30 points and look at Palace all the way down in 14th, there's only a 3-point gap. 3 points.
3-point gap from 7 to 14. Now, I'm not finna sit here and say this is exclusive to the Premier League because I think the Serie A is pretty tightly knitted together too. Aside from the Premier League in terms of competition, I heard the Serie A is up there for sure.
That's one game. Palace beat Villa in their next game, and they could potentially move 7 places. And we're over halfway through the season. The Premier is competitive as ever, and this is just one of the main reasons it's the best league in the world.
Love to see it.
Right? I mean, if we look at all of the big leagues across Europe, each one has 1 or 2 teams that dominate each year.
And that's what a lot of you fans of these other leagues, mainly the La Liga, don't be liking to hear. This is the La Liga's main thing. When you hear that 5 Premier League clubs is in the top 8 of the Champions League, what does the La Liga fan say? Well, La Liga owns everybody in Champions League trophies. You mean Real Madrid? I mean, yeah, Real Madrid is in the La Liga. Yes, indeed. But the whole La Liga is out here trying to ride Real Madrid coattails, talking about some, oh yeah, La Liga has more Champions League trophies than any other league in the world. Like, come on, baby.
France has
Have
PSG,
some shame.
Germany has Bayern, Spain have Barca and Madrid. In theory, the Premier League's always been classed as the exception, but the last 8 titles in England were won by the same 2 teams.
Yeah.
And in 6 of those 8 years, it was City.
That's true.
So how can we call this the best, most competitive league in the world?
Hold on. Did the video just hit us with an oopie doop? Hey, let's find out. I think we just got hit with an oopie doop. So maybe on the contrary, on the flip side, it's gonna be me getting cooked and learning about something and learning on why the other leagues is crazy.
Let's credit other leagues for the exact same thing. The Prem is comfortably the richest commercial league in the world. It attracts the best players and coaches, and it's in a league of its own in a financial sense.
Yeah.
But is the skill gap between the Prem and the other leagues really that big? In modern history, English teams haven't exactly dominated European competitions, often beaten by the best teams from other leagues. Last season dominated European competitions.
Look at these though. You got 3 different teams, right? 3 different teams in the Prem. Oh, that's not
Last
3.
exactly dominated European competitions.
Real Madrid, Barca. Okay, I see how
Often
you
beaten
said
by
it.
the best teams from other leagues. Last season, PSG beat basically every good Premier League side on their way to the Champions League.
PSG went through
So why
murder's
do
row.
so many people,
Clap it up for them.
footballers included, regard the Prem as
They
the
went crazy.
undisputed best? It might be because the Premier League will always have something that other leagues don't, and something that other leagues never will. And it's yet again reminding us of why the English top flight is the pinnacle of world football.
Alright. Now this is one phrase that I want to address all the time. The phrase English football is top flight. English football. No, you mean Premier League football. Let's look at them Man City teams that won 6 of the last 8 Premier League titles. Was they manager English? No, he was not. Erling Haaland, is he English? No, he's not. Was Kevin De Bruyne English? No, he's not. You could go down the team. They probably, who Man City got like what? 3 or 2 English people in their starting lineup? Philip and they had Philip and Jack Grealish in those rotations. Who else was English? Kyle Walker? That's 3 people. You know what I'm saying? So can you really just say English football? I know the English go take credit for it, but that's why I say the Premier League. I don't say the English League. I say the Premier League because it's dominated by foreigners, and that's every other league around the world. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. That English football always kind of be having me kind of side-eyeing, you know? Oh, John Stones. That was meant like John Stones.
Opta updated their advanced power ranking metric that ranked over 10,000 teams on a scale from 0 to 100. The metric is calculated using over 2.5 million games, combining match outcomes, Liga nationality, and quality of result to get an accurate
we got these
representation
charts.
of how good a team is. And while this is a great way to compare clubs, it's also a great way to compare leagues. If we
power rating, Europe's top 5 leagues, Pool Boys, Arsenal, and City are the 3 that's kind of like at the top. Boy, that's for easily. Oh, never mind. But yeah, they higher than Lona Boys. They higher than Lona and Real Madrid. So according to this Opta power ranking, Liverpool, Arsenal, and City, the 3 best clubs in the well, PSG is higher than City. Liverpool, Arsenal, Parity. This must be like over the past 5 years or something.
Look at the graphic for the 2020.
Oh, lowest rated EPL team is mid-table in every other league. Sunderland is right here, and yeah. You know what I'm saying? Burnley, Wolves is a, you know.
24-25 season, 2 things stand out. Firstly, the best Premier League clubs are the best clubs in the world. Yes, I know PSG won the Champions League.
This chart is based off 24-25
season in the rankings. But Liverpool, Arsenal, and City were 3 of the best 5 teams in the world. In fact, only 10 teams achieved a ranking of above 95, and half of them were in the Prem. It's weird to think that Brighton are currently the 15th best team in the world right now, as they only sit 10th in the league table. But if you don't want to trust the numbers too much, the eye test backs it up. PSG did get the better of Liverpool, Villa, and Arsenal last season on their way to winning the Champions League. But all 3 ties were extremely tight. Spurs and United had dreadful seasons in the league, but both comfortably made the Europa League final.
Oh, let's talk about that too. The La Liga boys love to talk about the Europa League final. I mean, the Europa League or Spanish teams always whooping up this, and that. United and Tottenham put that to bed last year.
The Europa League final. Chelsea weren't amazing in the league either, but still won the Conference League. Even Newcastle and Palace finished 5th and 12th, but still won domestic trophies. And this leads on to the second point. Parity. The Premier League peaks slightly higher than the other top 4 leagues in Europe, but its average is where it really stands out.
We love
Looking back at the graphic, we can see that the spread between the best and worst teams in a league is much smaller in the Premier
hell yeah, it's bunched together.
Like, much smaller. According to the metric, Sunderland, the statistically worst side in the league before this season started, are at a similar level to the lower mid-table sides in Serie A and the Bundesliga. The next worst teams, Burnley and Wolves, would theoretically compete for Europe in La Liga, and even have a long shot at second in Liga.
Oh, they said Burnley and Wolves, if they was in the La Liga, they would be competing for fucking Europe. Woo!
If we change the teams to their league average, for example, this is where we can really see the levels. Only 1.5 metric points separate the league average between the 2nd and 5th best leagues in the world. 5.7 metric points separate first from second. The average Premier League club is considerably better than the average La Liga club, Serie A club. You get the point. But while we'll never get a flawless performance indicator in football, regardless of how advanced the statistics become, this seems to be aging extremely well. La Liga is the consensus next best league in football, with many people believing it actually trumps the Prem with its historic dominance in the Champions League. And to be fair, clubs like Real Madrid and Barcelona have peaked as high as football clubs can really peak. But in the competition this season, Premier League teams have won 9 out of 10 of their matchups with their Spanish opposition. Liverpool are in one of the worst runs of form in their club's recent history, and still managed to beat Real Madrid.
And Inter. Hey, tell that. Galatasaray was a fluke game. There was a little weaselly, nutty game that them boys weaseled a fluke pen that wasn't just over us. Flopping and time wasting and all of that.
Form in their club's recent history, and still managed to beat Real Madrid. City did the same. Arsenal destroyed Atleti and Bayern, and even Spurs and Newcastle, who have both struggled in the league, managed to cruise past Villarreal and Bilbao. But even though Arsenal are favourites, there's still a good chance the eventual Champions League winner won't be an English club, but I think I know why. A great example is the Arsenal versus PSG tie in the Champions League last year. We know that PSG beat Arsenal and went on to win the tournament, but I want to know what kind of situation each team was in leading up to the fixture. So let's look at PSG, rated around 97.5.
What he was finna say that they had the privilege to kind of cruise over there in league table play because they already had the League One while Arsenal was out here battling out for a league title. That's probably what he finna say.
On the Opta ranking, the 3 games they played in and around the tie with Arsenal were against Nice, Strasbourg and Montpellier. They had already mathematically won Liga nearly 4 weeks prior, and their primary focus was obviously the Champions League. Arsenal were rated about 98.75, and they played Palace, Bournemouth and Liverpool. And whilst the title was out of reach, they were still battling to keep their place in the top 4 to guarantee Champions League football next season. PSG were undoubtedly in a much more comfortable position. So let's look at the difficulty of games they played to really see how fair the metric is across the leagues. PSG played Nice, who were rated at an 85.4, Strasbourg at an 86.3, and Montpellier at a 77.2.
Oh, this Strasbourg club is better than Nice? Well, I just know. Only reason I say that because I know the Nice name over Strasbourg.
Arsenal, on the other hand, played a Palace team that were ranked at 91.2, Bournemouth at a 90.5, and Liverpool at 100. In the 3 games around the tie, Arsenal played an average rating of 93.9, whereas similarly ranked PSG played a team average of 83. So while PSG did deserve to beat Arsenal, you do have to put it into context with the strength of their schedule. PSG had basically nothing to worry about in the league. Even if they hadn't already sealed first place, they were leaving London to play a team ranked 376. That would be like Alcaraz winning a Grand Slam and then having to play Pool Jub in the next few games.
Nah, bro, did y'all see that tennis and football argument? We gonna look at it later. Hold on. Let me. Did y'all see that argument on Twitter? All right, here you go. We go look at this afterwards. We go look at that afterwards, mate. Let's go there.
We don't even know who that is.
I say it sounds like that mad.
Don't know who that is.
Mad as an
Meanwhile,
excuse for
Arsenal
losing.
had to worry about the eventual league winners and the eventual FA Cup
YouTube.
winners. It's almost no wonder that
Madrid
English teams struggle to go all the way in the Champions League.
Just to add context.
And funnily enough, when they do, they rarely actually win any other trophies that year. I'm sure if you switch Arsenal,
what do you say? Let me run it back.
The English Arsenal had to worry about the eventual league winners and the eventual FA Cup winners. It's almost no wonder that English teams struggle to go all the way in the Champions League. And funnily enough, when they do, they rarely actually win any other trophies that year. I'm sure if you switch Arsenal and PSG situations last season, Arsenal might have had a much better chance of getting their first Champions League trophy. But I guess we'll never know. Funnily enough, not one of the 6 games that either club played in and around their tie were won by either team. Were that PSG team actually as good as they seemed? Look, I know a lot of you will still have your doubts.
Yeah, they was as good as they seemed. Them niggas won every trophy that was able. 5, they won a quintuple.
Into the numbers. Not from a general league-to-league point of view, but from a quality and talent point of view. Because the best way to decide which is the strongest league in the world is to see which one has the highest quality games, week in, week out. Someone once joked that Messi couldn't do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke. And at that time, Messi was basically becoming the best version of the best player the sport's ever seen. So I don't think he was being completely serious. But what he meant was that the Premier League has a level of physicality, intensity and grit from top to bottom, which separates it from any other league in the world. And he might have been onto something. The Premier League last season had by far the fewest passes per shot compared to the other 4 leagues, coupled with one of the shortest passing distance averages and the quickest time to pass.
Fewest passes per shot, quickest time to pass, final third cross. I'm talking about shit just happened so quick. The Uber Eats have that many passes before a shot? You said, let me move my head out the way. Premier League is right here. Let me move my camera. Passes per shot is the bottom. Let me move my camera right here. Passes per shot, Premier League is right here at the very low for final third crosses and passes per shot. Then you got the Serie A right here with the most final third crosses. So that's crossing FC over here in the Serie A. League on is just passing FC. He talking FC.
To the most sharp, ultra-fast and demanding level of football. Out of possession, teams need to press constantly while facing quick and frequent short passes, while the opposition waits for openings. Then, in the final third, teams need to defend against excessive shooting and direct attacks on goal. And the pace doesn't just come in the final third. The average speed of players in the Premier League dwarfs the other leagues. Players sprint more, sprint faster and sprint longer distances, and they just move more in general. Premier League players are sprinting for 2.68%.
I already know this is the Serie A, or this is the Serie A right here for the least amount of sprints.
To a 2.4% in the second.
What y'all predict? For the second, third, fourth, in terms of sprinting, who is these in order from the most sprinty leagues to the least sprinty? Is the Bundesliga gonna be right here, and then the Uber Eats, And then the La Liga in Serie A.
Plays Serie A. This might not seem like much, but over the course of a whole season, it really adds up.
Italy second for sprinting. Bundesliga low physicality.
If you don't want to take my word for it, just listen to countless Premier League players and managers that have admitted how the jump in intensity is so prevalent.
He ain't gonna show
Ekitike
us.
and Slot have already come out this season and addressed the physicality, and they've only been here for a year or so. Cucurella, who's had seasons of experience in La Liga, stated that the Prem is just a level above.
Traore tossed his little ass
You
aside.
just have to think faster in every moment. Obviously, this isn't the story in every single game, but these trends are more evident across the length of a season, and it explains why the pace and intensity of the Prem proves so difficult for so many foreign players. It seems to go without saying that most big transfers into the Prem end up falling short of their expectations, especially when they come from foreign leagues across Europe.
Crazy.
Big money signings that can't adapt to the league in one way or another and end up falling to the bench or being shipped back to Europe for half the price. Recent players that come to mind like Gyökeres, Voltemada and Wirtz haven't been
This is a little tad bit outdated. A little 4 days ago, you know, Squirts done had to come up. I don't know too much about Yak. But hey, man, shout out Florin. That boy been hooping.
terrible, but you can see how the league has caused some growing pains in the first half of the season.
Haaland
These
did
are players who
exceed.
have really shone in the Champions League before. More notable signings back in the day might include Di Maria, Morata or Depay, who look destructive everywhere else they've played, even in World Cup finals, but can never quite get it going in the Prem. The same thing happens in reverse. How many times have we seen someone struggle in the Premier League, go on to have a career breakthrough?
Scott McTominay going stupid in there.
McTominay went from being a scapegoat rotation player for United to the Serie A player of the year.
I thought he was going to put Christian up here. If he would have put Christian up here, I would have had to click off the video just off principle.
Here in just a few seasons. And I'm not saying McTominay didn't always have that potential inside him, but someone who looked like a decent centre mid in England looks like Zidane in Italy.
Like
Many
he
factors that lead
does.
to transfers over and underperforming in different leagues, language barriers, cultural adaptation, team chemistry, but there's no doubt that the quality of the league is one of the most important. And the main problem for these overseas players is that this gap in skill, speed and competitiveness is growing faster than ever. Looking back at the previous Opta rankings from last season, the average Premier League team was rated at an 87.9.
Yeah, shout out
not
Alex
too
Sanchez,
far off the
Alex Sanchez.
Bundesliga. But this season, it's increased to 90.5, whereas the
Sheesh.
Bundesliga's fallen to an 85.
Because they
And
getting
this
all
makes
the
sense.
talent.
Bar maybe one or two exceptions, every team has major attacking threats, a competent back line, and a real chance of winning.
These
at
niggas,
every
bro, these
stage.
niggas Sunderland got Shaka. Like, I'm talking about everybody from top to bottom. This guy has heat.
Stadium in the league, not to mention the superstars in every team. You might keep Semenyo quiet on a Tuesday night, but then Igor Thiago is tearing you apart on the weekend.
But
And
Semenyo
the
on
anyone
City
can
now.
beat anyone gimmick isn't, well, a gimmick. This season, every single team has poetically beat
said
any
he said
rival
Wolves.
in a beautiful circle of parity. Let's start with the struggling Wolves, who got their first league win of the
There we
season
go.
the other day against West Ham, a comfortable 3-0 performance. But West Ham beat Newcastle earlier this season 3-1. Newcastle beat Palace 2-0, who beat Liverpool
Football
2-1.
man.
Liverpool beat Villa 2-0, who then beat Arsenal 2-1 to hand them one of their only losses this season. Arsenal managed to beat Brentford 2-0, who beat Everton, who beat United. United then beat Brighton 4-2, who beat Man City 2-1. City beat Fulham 5-4 in probably the game
It's
of
a
the
full
season.
circle.
But Fulham could only score one against Sunderland, but they beat them. Who then went and beat Bournemouth, who beat Forest. Forest beat Spurs, and Spurs beat Leeds.
Bro.
And even though Chelsea lost to Leeds, they beat Burnley 2-0.
Bro, how long do you think it told him? It found him to discover this little chain link of events.
And that terrible Burnley side managed to beat Wolves 3-2 to complete the perfect game. Not only is it insanely impressive.
Hey, I like that. Everybody clap it up. Hey, everybody go drop this man a subscription. Go get him to 15,000 subscribers, bro. That is a W link right there. That's hard right there.
Competitive for this to happen only
Circle
halfway
of
through the
parity.
season. It's more the fact that all these results are so unpredictable. I genuinely watch games with zero idea of what's about to happen. It's complete box office entertainment. The best part is, it feels like it's come a long way from when City and Liverpool would destroy everyone and get nearly 100 points every season. And this is why the Prem is really
100
taking
is
the best league in the
crazy.
world crown at the moment. It's always been the most popular, the richest, the highest level of football, but now it's hyper competitive and
Shout out
completely
Jedi.
unpredictable. A lot of this comes down to the structure. The skill gap between the best and worst teams, as well as all the teams in between, is so much less significant than it used to be, and the mid-table teams are so much more sustainable than the ones in other leagues. Every year it seems like the Brightons, Brentfords and Bournemouths get raided by the top 6, losing all their star power and looking like relegation favourites. But every season they seem to find and develop even more talent, and look just as good, if not better. I mean, Bournemouth lost most of their back line last season, and were second in the league after 8 weeks. Brentford lost their captain, manager, 2 20-goal a season forwards.
Here we go. Still with the Madrid propaganda in it.
And other key players, and they're competing for Europe. Brighton had a 7-3-2 record against all of the big 6 last season, but then lost most of their games to teams in the bottom half. It's actually unbelievable. And this doesn't just stop in the top flight.
7-3-2
the Championship is sometimes labelled as the best league in the world for the same reasons: complete unpredictability. It might not get the same coverage or hype, but the stats are the same reasons in the top flight of their games to teams in the bottom half. It's actually unbelievable. And this doesn't just stop in the top flight. The Championship is sometimes labelled as the best league in the world for the same...
No, I don't know about that, Now, the Champions League has been taking some slack lately because of the fact that there's been some MLS players to go to the Champions League, a la Patrick Agyemang, a la Haji Wright, a la Josh Sargent, and go over there. Yeah, Championship, that's what I meant. I meant to say Championship, not Champions League. So there has been players from the MLS to go over to the Championship, like I said, like Patrick Agyemang, Haji Wright, Josh Sargent, and go over there and start going stupid. I'm talking about this nigga Patrick Agyemang was buns at Charlotte. Now, I ain't gonna say he was buns, but a lot of people didn't really have faith that he would go over there and start producing. Niggas go to the Championship and start hooping. Oh my mama, this nigga Patrick Agyemang is scoring every week. So now you got people saying that the MLS and the Championship is on the same goddamn level. So boys out here giving Championship best league in the world shouts. Hey, we're Major League Soccer shouts. Come on, baby.
This doesn't just stop in the top flight.
I actually went to a Charlotte game, by the way. Let me go ahead and pull it up since boys think it's sweet. Boy, think it's sweet. The Broncos Charlotte. That's all you gotta do is type that hoe in. Charlotte FC. I was there. You feel me? And I was at the Gold Cup to see Patrick Agyemang stink it up. You feel me? Hey, I was there. You know what I'm saying? I was there walking in with the supporter section. You know what I'm saying? I was there in the midst of it. With the smoke and the trumpets and this and that. Big Bronx was there. Do you hear me? Wilfred Zaha watching that boy. Patrick Agyemang is right here. He's right there. My mom. Gold Cup. Hold on. And boys want to play with Bronx today for whatever reason. Bronco was there at the Gold Cup. In the mix of it all. I'm talking about sideline point of view. Hold on. Shout out. Sideline point of view. And after the game, I'm talking about walking in the midst. There's Patrick. Watch this. Bro. There's Patrick right there. Nigga, this big Bronx who recorded this. You feel me? Like, y'all better quit playing like Bronx ain't certified. Like, I ain't seen this stuff in person. I'm 2 feet away from this nigga. You feel me? These little ass shin guards. Let's get back to the video. He said, record another man crying. Hey, man. Hey, man, I'm media in it. It's my job, bruv. It's my job now. I got to get all the scenes. I got to get all the footage. Now, I am mad that I didn't get like horizontal footage of all of this. But like I said, my job was vertical footage. Like, look how good this footage looks. Look how good this looks, nigga. This is me. This Bronco who recorded this while on the field. You know what I'm saying? And then after the field, I'm on there with LD while they sitting there. This is me. I'm recording this while they sitting there celebrating. Hey, I was speechless. You know what I'm saying? Look at Edson Alvarez like I already fuck with him or something. Hey, bro, I don't fuck with you. Huh. I'm just here cause this is my job, Edson. Do you hear me? I gotta sit here and take a picture of you posing up. My mom. They're watching the boys celebrate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Memo. I rock with it. I rock with Ochoa though. Watching the boys celebrate in front of my face. I rock with Ochoa. Hey, anyway, like I said, moral of the story. Hey, Big Bronx is like that, man.
Is sometimes labelled as the best league in the world for the same reasons: complete unpredictability. It might not get the same coverage or hype, but the stats really back it up. If we revisit the Opta Power rankings from earlier, the championship has the smallest range between the best and worst club, at just 9 metric points. And Liga is actually closer to the championship in terms of skill level than it is to...
Wait, these niggas are really 6th? He said took the video like a good boy. Hey, man's got a job, innit? I just saying, man. He said he's sending me straight. Bro, do y'all really think he can whoop Bronx? Why do y'all think why do y'all think athletes in general just off default know how to fight? Like, he probably got connections that could get me gone, but me versus him, bro, he's getting whooped. The championship is really sitting here at 6th?
The Prem. To put this into perspective, the Eredivisie had a range of 24, and if we compare them visually, only the 3
they got
best
damn.
Dutch
Oh, they
teams
talking
are
about these
the best
Opta Power
championship
rankings. They got the
team,
championship
and the worst
over the
Dutch team are as good as
Eredivisie.
Bromley, a strong League 2 side, or the Barcelona B team. By the end of every championship season, the middle of the table is a war zone, and there's always drama on the last day. This means that decade-defining events are decided by the finest of margins. You have teams lose the playoff final and crumble to non-league, whereas the winners will be established in the Premier League in the next few years. Forest beat Huddersfield in the 2020 playoff final.
He said, what you mean connections? What do you think? Tell us what I mean. You know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean.
They're playing in Europe, whereas the Terriers are struggling to escape League 1. But one thing which is impossible not to mention is arguably the main reason that we're talking about how amazing the Premier League has become in the first place.
This nigga TK got a new hairstyle every 6 weeks.
The Prem is a financial giant. Its broadcasting deal has recently passed over 4 billion euros, more than the other 4 leagues combined. Not to mention this was a 16% increase from the previous deal, whereas leagues like the Serie A
combined
and
is
Liga
nuts
are
though.
losing.
That's the team. Premier League is making $4.2 billion off they combined. The other top 5 is 5.4, bro.
Money on their current deals. The Premier League wage bill is higher, the club's owners are richer, the revenue is ridiculous. Premier League players on average get paid £3.2 million per year, much more than any other league.
That's
the Prem genuinely dwarfs everyone else from a commercial point of view.
That's it? It's about the same, almost, but a million more. I know pounds is more than you know, pounds is definitely has more weight than a dollar. So it's probably like a million more. What about MLB? Around the same. You know what I'm saying? More players than the Prem. Who, what? More players than what? Oh, NBA type shit. But NHL is around, MLB for sure around the same. I'm just saying, that just shows you how big the American market is. And I feel like that's a big reason on why the Premier League TV deal is so big. Because, and to answer Oz question, yeah, more people watch the Premier League in America than the MLS for sure. There's 500 plus players. Hey. $529. $280 more players. You know what I'm saying? That American money is different, man.
It even brings the most fans to each game, with the Championship and League One both being top 10 worldwide leagues in terms of attendance. But with all this money came a problem, and there was a stigma that you could just buy your way to the top. Man City are a prime example. Chelsea have spent billions and basically paid for European football, and even newer teams like Newcastle and Villa are benefiting from huge investment. But this season just feels different. Liverpool spent nearly 500 million, and somehow got worse. Clubs are spending and big signings are coming into the Prem, but many are struggling. Spending seems to have lost some of its power. Obviously it's still important, but it's no longer the be-all and end-all. Having a strong structure is equally, if not more important, and it's clear to see why when you look at clubs like Brentford, Palace and Brighton. Even Arsenal, who are top of the league by 6 points, are a prime example of strong foundations and trust in the process. Yes, they've spent a lot on players like Eze and Gyökeres.
Hold on, whoa. Hold on. Pocket, where are you from again? Tight shit.
Long-term investments like Gabriel, Saliba and Raya are paying dividends as the best defense in the world. Academy products like Saka and Lewis Skelly are just
Why did I think he was Moroccan or something?
Don't get me wrong, some clubs will always be able to spend as they please. But as proven by United and Chelsea, you need a lot more than just money. When you find the balance of investment and structure and trusting your manager, the results speak for themselves. And this is a massive wound the Premier League is finally healing from. As a matter of fact, 5 of the top 6 spenders last season are struggling, and the only one that isn't is Aston Villa. And this is what makes the league so special. Every team, no matter how big or small their stadium is, or how rich their owners are, have figured out how they can succeed with the resources they have.
Yeah.
And it's making for the most thrilling, entertaining fixtures every single week. The ruthlessness of not just the Premier League, but the English League pyramid makes it the best footballing country in the world, whether it's the excitement, competitiveness, or the rivalry.
See, now, this is what I'm saying. When they bring up something like saying this is the best footballing country in the world, like the Premier League is in England, and I definitely do think, interesting. That's a topic for another day, but
pyramid makes it the best footballing country in the world, whether it's the excitement.
I seen somebody bring this up on Twitter though, or on TikTok. That was like, how is England the best footballing country in the world when this and that? Niggas ain't got no Euros. Niggas ain't got no, well, if they do got a Euros, it was a long time ago. Niggas ain't got no World Cup since the 60s. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you go by actual results, the best footballing country in the world is France. Do you hear me? Or Brazil or something. But I'm going to go with France because them boys is in Europe and, you know, them boys got some Euros and World Cups and shit. You know?
Or the rivalries, England has it all. And the top division, the Premier League, encapsulates that perfectly.
And then they saying rivals, they got the best rivalries and all of that. But the players who are playing on these rivals are all foreign. That's one thing that just make me laugh when it comes to when you actually think about it. You know? When you actually think, it low-key don't really make sense.
It's taken yet another leap, and it's reaching record-breaking heights in terms of viewership and parity. The end of 2025 is a great time to reflect on what's been an amazing first half of the season, but if that's anything to go by, 2026 might be even better.
Hey, W video by Man's Like Intercept. Go subscribe to him, get him to 15,000 subscribers. That's one of the best videos I done seen in a minute, man. Go ahead and go rock with him. The Premier League is evolving again. Let me know down in the comments, what can these other leagues do to catch up to the Premier League in terms of revenue, in terms of big clubs, and in terms of competition, man, because it's looking real grim for the rest of these clubs. That's why Man's like Florentino Perez tried to make the Super League. You know, stuff like that. You say spend that guap of money, where the money go come from? They can't bankrupt themselves now. How are y'all gonna make the La Liga global, quote unquote, like the Premier League is doing? I feel like it boils down to you need a few more big clubs. You can't just be banking on Real Madrid and Barca just to carry. You need at least 2 more clubs. Like, you know, the Premier League got the big 6, and now you damn near got a 7 approaching. You can't just have 2. You need at least 2 more. Or another one, Bundesliga. You can't just have Bayern. You need at least 3 more clubs. Uber Eats, you can't just have Parity. You need about 5 more clubs. I think that's really what it all boils down to be honest, man. To get more eyes on the league and all of that. Yeah, man. My mama. But hey, man. Hey, W video, like I said, go subscribe to them boys again. Intercept. Get them to 15,000. Quality of the video, yeah, the comments rock with it too. Yeah, that's crazy right there, man. Hey, see y'all boys, man. Hello! Hold on, what he said? Can't say that about the Serie A. Yeah, shout out to Serie A. I think the Serie A problem, you know, they real competitive, but they problem is maybe the style of football that they play. You know? Anyway, hey, hello!